Welcome back, parents. Jordan Langdon here with you for 95th episode. Can you believe that? 95 episodes on the airwaves. Listen, because of your support and you being so generous in sharing our episodes with people in your contact list, whether that be through a text message or forwarding on one of our emails that advertises our episodes, you have helped us reach over 20,000 downloads. And that is awesome. We are actually being listened to in over 1,300 different cities in the United States and downloaded in 53 different countries. That blows my mind. But listen, we are so excited about it and just are going to keep this train rolling down the track because family life is crazy. It is beautiful. It's chaotic. It is challenging. And there's so much that we can do to benefit from the beauty of being in this vocation as parents that we are going to just continue to show up for you and to provide practical solutions for common parenting problems. I also say, listen, Families of Character is not about the quick hack, right? You can find those all over Instagram and Pinterest. Here's your special little magical chore chart that's going to change the world. There's a special book that you can buy and that's going to get your kid to be the best. Listen, those are all tools. Those can be helpful, but what we're doing here at Families of Character is we're going to go deep with you. Our goal is to walk this journey of parenting with you so that you have some guidance in this thing called life and family life. We all need a helpful guide to come alongside us and be like, man, I've been there. Having sick kids and trying to work, or the shutdown and you're trying to work and kids are on screens, like it's hard. And then to have someone that can also say, I found a way that works and I think it could work for you too. That's what our show is all about. So today I want to talk about just something that has been on my mind lately. It's something that I've heard people say and even seen posts on Instagram and social media, Facebook about this, but I hear people often kind of flippantly refer to, parenting in this way. They say like, you know what? There's nothing I wouldn't do for my child. Or they say like, I would die for my child, right? Like I love them so much. I'd die for them. Well, we use these big words to explain how much love we have for our kids. And it makes sense, right? After all, they are our children. Our hearts are so full of love for these humans. We can imagine like jumping in front of a car to save them or trading places if they were sick and dying, right? But dying is a one-time thing, right? Ponder that. Like, I would die for my child. Well, that's a one-time commitment you're making, right? Because you can only die once, right? While it's in fact heroic to sacrifice your own life for someone else, I just want to dive a little deeper into what it truly means to die for your child. There's a scripture verse that goes like this: no one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. That's out of John chapter 15, verse 13. So if we explore this scripture passage in further depth, we see that laying down our life or dying, it indicates a number of things, not just that one-time heroic jump in front of the moving bus with our cape on, right? First, it shows you that laying down your life cannot be done halfway. No one dies halfway, right? Either your life is laid down or not. So this indicates that in order for it to be love in the truest sense, it's a total commitment of 100% of your life. That's what it truly means to die for someone, right? Well, listen, Raise your hand if that sounds like parenting to you, because it sounds like parenting to me, right? 100% committed, all in. Yes. To die for our kids also means that we choose on a daily basis to live for them, right? That's the deeper meaning behind this one-time kind of statement that we could throw out there where we say, man, I would die for my kids. Would you die for them? You would die for them, right? You would. I believe you. You would take your life and replace it with theirs if you could, and the opportunity presented itself. But would you live for your children? Because that's a much bigger sacrifice. And what does that mean? Living for our children on a day-to-day basis means paying close attention to our own personal needs so that we are becoming the best version of ourselves for our family. It doesn't mean going after personal, goals and career, accolades and these promotions and titles and climbing the ladder of our own personal life. What it means is taking special care of our mind, our bodies, and our souls in order that we can be the type of true hero our kids need. Guys, I've said a million times, when I was working a full-time private practice, my husband had his business going, and we had 3 kids in school. I would come home from the office burnt, crispy, right? It's a lot to put in an 8-hour day, because you're doing it. You come home and what do you have to do? Round 2. After a long day work, you have to make some dinner. You have to help kids with homework. You have to bathe them, right? You have to maybe take them to sports class, sports practice, and then you have to get them in bed at a decent hour. It's a lot, right? And what you can do is you can forget about yourself. You can just keep working so hard and then pouring yourself into your kids that you forget about self-care. And what does that look like? That looks like your kids scattering like cockroaches when you come in the home after a long day of work. Why? Because you're nagging, you're barking at them, you're running on fumes, and you're probably hungry because you haven't eaten much, you haven't paid attention to that. And then everybody is in distress in your home. Everybody is in the state of reacting to each other, right? And then that's the window of influence you have on your children. That's not choosing to live for your children. That's choosing to barely survive for your kids. And guys, that's not heroic. That's not the hero they need in their lives. So I want you to just kind of ask yourself, what are you doing in order to live for your kids on a daily basis? Many of us will never choose to take care of ourselves just for us. But I do want to bring your attention to the fact that you are worth that. If you didn't have children or don't have children and happen to be listening to this, you are worth taking care of your mind, your body, and your soul on a daily basis and prioritizing that so that you can be the best version of yourself. But especially if you are a parent or a grandparent, paying special attention to your own self-care and prioritizing that is not selfish. That's what it means to truly live for your kids, right? To live for your family. So I want to ask you, number 1, do you focus on your health, eating healthy, exercising, getting good sleep? If the answer is no, I just want you to take a quick second and think, what's one thing I could do different about my health, eating, exercise, or sleep? What's one small thing I could commit to that would make a difference in my overall well being. Guys, it could be something as simple as packing healthy snacks the night before so that you have the energy you need throughout your day, right? Almonds, you pack some cheese sticks, you pack a yogurt, right? Some high protein snack for yourself so that you don't run out of steam during your day. It could be the smallest change that you commit to make that helps you keep your blood sugar regulated so that you have an opportunity to be kind to people throughout your day, right? Just changing one small habit about your eating is huge. That's heroic. That can even feel heroic when you're in the grind of the day to day parenting and working and managing the household. So think about, if I'm prioritizing my health, I got to change one thing about either eating, exercising, getting some movement in my body, or getting better sleep. Again, you are worth this. I want you to ask yourself about distractions, right? Distractions such as your phone or social media, right? Things that interrupt quality conversation with your kids. I don't know about you, but there's half the time, I'm running around with my phone in my pocket or, it's in my hand, and it's such a distraction to my kids. I just want to throw that thing out the window and never look at it again because I realized that it is not helping me in the evening hours when I'm around my kids and trying to pour into them, to have that thing attached to me like another appendage, right? So maybe you consider eliminating distractions such as social media or just checking your email off business hours, and just dock your phone. Go plug it in your closet and close the closet door, right? Nothing is a true emergency. Nothing that someone needs to say to you, or no special message from Instagram is going to make such an impact in your life that you need to be attached to that phone. So being a hero to your kids could mean setting a clear boundary with your electronics when you get back from work, or when you've been home hanging out with the kids all day and taking care of making meals and changing diapers and doing dinner and all the things, to just give yourself a full break from even looking at that thing, right? So think about that being heroic. How about waking up and getting yourself ready each day, taking care of your proper hygiene, right? Waking up on your alarm clock. That is heroic, people. That's like the first choice that you have of every day is, when your alarm goes up, are you going to wake up and get up and start your day? Because you're the one that set the alarm for that time the night before, right? You knew it was a good idea to get up at 5 or 6 or 7. So are you going to do that? Are you going to get up and honor your own integrity and not break that, not snooze the snooze button, and then start your day on a positive note, saying yes to yourself? That is heroic. Getting yourself in clothes that you feel good about. Let's talk about that for a second. That's a big deal in family life. If you are a mom, whether you're staying at home or going to work, the way you look and feel in your clothes, your hair, whether you do makeup or not, it really truly impacts the way you relate to people, the way you feel about yourself, the way you relate to your spouse, the way you engage with your kids and people you see out and about. Take the time for yourself. You are worth that. You know what it feels like to put on that best pair of jeans, or, your favorite dress, or have that hair that you just love. It makes a difference. And you're worth spending the time to do that. Same with guys, right? You know that if you don't plan your clothes the night before, or you can't find the shirt that you want for work, or you can't find your workout clothes to get to the gym, the things that you need, you feel comfortable with, you feel like represent who you are. It's kind of your own style. you just don't feel the same from day to day when you go out to do your business. So prioritize that. Take a minute. Maybe you go through your closet and you go, what in here have I not worn for the past 2 years? That's going to the Goodwill. I don't need to distract myself any longer with stuff that I don't like, that doesn't suit my needs, that does not represent the best part of me. Guys, it could be as simple as that, right? My husband and I did that recently. We went through our closet and we're like, you know what? If we haven't worn this in 2 years, it's definitely going to the donate pile, right? Because we deserve to feel the best that we can feel in the clothes that we have. And so some people may say, Jordan, oh, that's being, you're being vain about that. You just wear what you wear, be thankful for what you've got. I am thankful for what I've got. And I can pare that down and wear my favorite things more often and feel better about myself, right? But it could be something as simple as that, is going, you know what? I'm going to get dressed today. I'm going to pick something that I feel good in, and I'm going to do my best and feel my best in what I choose to wear. What about having date night? Okay, I know this gets like all kinds of, date night. It's such a struggle. It's what I want, and yet we don't do it, right? What about taking a minute and just putting the word date or date night on your calendar right now? Pausing this episode and picking a Friday or picking a Saturday morning or whatever time on the calendar, just picking an empty spot on your calendar, even if it's a month out, and putting date with spouse. If you don't plan it, it won't happen. It is heroic for you to nurture your marriage and family life. It is a beautiful thing that's really hard to do. That's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice to find a babysitter, to figure out what you're going to do for date night or a date coffee, and to actually get yourself ready and go do it. But you know what? That's heroic. That your kids need that hero. They need to see you date your spouse. Why? First, you're teaching them how to date their spouse in the future. They will do what you do. If you do not take care of yourself and you do not take care of your marriage by dating your spouse in married life, they're going to do the same thing. History repeats itself. You can change the way you are doing things right now. Whether you have money or not, you can put a date on the calendar and show up for each other. There's no excuse, right? I don't have any money. I don't have time. We're just so busy. You prioritize your marriage. That's heroic. That's being a hero. That's living for your family, to prioritize the very relationship that started your awesome family. What about just showing up in a way where you say, you know what? You guys all have value. I don't have to do everything myself for everyone. As the mom or the dad, I don't have to beat my brains out doing everything for everyone while everyone else is just kind of sitting on the sidelines. No, I can engage my family and bring them into the fold of some of the stress that I might carry as a mom or the dad. What is that? How about the calendar? Right? We talk about this all the time. What about the calendar? Everyone has a family calendar, and that thing is jam-packed with activities. So, as mom, because that's what I am, as a mom, am I going to just hoard the calendar to myself and be the one that everybody has to come to figure out what's going on today or who's going where tomorrow? That's draining. That's not heroic to do that. Sometimes we can say like, oh yeah, I've got this. I've got this. I've got it all taken care of. And that's my role. It's not your role. Your role as a parent is to share these responsibilities with your spouse and your children. It doesn't take more time. Contrary to popular belief, it does not actually take more time to get your spouse and your kids on the same page when it comes to the calendar. All you have to do is try. You have to show them what you know. You have to show them your calendar, whether it be, digitally on your computer, a big enough calendar they can see, not your phone, or a calendar on the wall or a paper calendar. You got to show it to them and go day by day so that they can see what's happening. When you shoulder the weight of the calendar yourself, you are creating so much hardship for yourself. You are not taking care of your mental health because it's a burden. Whether you know it or not, or want to admit it or not, carrying the burden of the family calendar all on your own will burn you out and fry you in no time. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Not proud, but have recovered from it, okay? Just simply huddling up with your family on a Sunday to glance ahead at the weekly family calendar and show your husband what's on the calendar, show your kids what's going on, and then invite them to help solve some of the problems of the weekly schedule, it will set you free. It will free you up and feel like a weight off your shoulders because now all of a sudden your kids are a valuable asset. They are solving problems, which makes them feel like a unified part of your team. And it takes all the pressure off you to figure it all out. So if you're not doing that yet, start that. It's super simple. It could take 10 minutes. It could take 10 minutes every Sunday to just say, hey guys, let's just check out what's going on the calendar and really talk through every day and make sure everybody knows what's going on. And then give them a piece of paper, give them a notepad, give them their own little calendar that they can write down things they need to be responsible for or they need to remember in order to take on more responsibility and help out. That's another way we can be heroes to our family, is by avoiding this team of one and engaging them in the activities of the daily calendar. What about family meals? It's really heroic to have a meal at the table these days, right? With sports practices and different activities in the evenings, it's difficult. And I don't want you to have guilt about this. I want you to set a small goal. If right now the only time you eat together at the table is once a week, on Saturday morning for breakfast or something, let's do 2. Look at your calendar and figure out one day where all of you are at home and make that special. Just pluck that day off your calendar and say, this is going to be it. We're going to start doing dinners on Wednesday night because for this season, I'm not saying forever, but it may be for the next 2 months, we're actually all home together on a Wednesday. And so we are going to have tacos on Wednesday. I know it's not Taco Tuesday, but whatever it may be, we like to go and get a $10 large pizza at Papa Murphy's on Tuesday, put it in the fridge, and then bake it on Wednesday nights because it's easy to do. It's tasty. We can all count on it. And that just takes one thing off our plate, right? But identifying one meal that you could eat together, if you're not doing that already, and then staying consistent with that, that's heroic. That is showing up for your kids and your spouse to do that, to say we're worth having an uninterrupted conversation and a meal where we put our phones down. They aren't even in our pockets. They're over in another room, right? On the charging station or whatever, so that we can talk. We can just organically see what comes up at the table. Some people do, family meal and they make a statement of gratitude before they take their first bite of food. That's what we do at our house. We just sit down before you can eat. We just say, man, I really appreciate the fact that, Janet made such amazing edits to my podcast when I screwed up. We'll call out someone in our life that day that did something that really made our life better. Or just, I'm thankful that we had this meal. And then just eat together. Like, again, don't overthink these things. Just make a commitment to do one meal as a family throughout the week. Parents, I just want you to just pick one thing that you do for yourself that helps you be that best version of yourself for your kids. That is a sacrifice. It's not just giving something up so that you can do something for your child. Being a hero, dying, right, for your child means choosing to live life to the fullest each day so that they have a parent that can respond instead of react to them. They can have that parent who has that extra little burst of energy in the evening to read a story to them without being short or, cutting things off quick to get you in bed. They need you to take care of yourself, and you are worth that. So I just want to encourage you to pick just one of those things and say, you know what? I can do this. I can challenge myself to change this one thing that I do on a daily basis that's going to make me that hero. That's truly going to indicate that I am choosing to live every day instead of just dying one time for my kids. Guys, it is such a pleasure to just bring my own personal experiences to you. It's such a pleasure to know your stories and your struggles. And I want to tell you that our stories and our struggles, they're pretty much the same. The script that runs in our head, the guilt that we have as parents, the busyness, the stress, the drain, we all experience it. And so if there are small ways that we can grow, and there's small ways that we can change our habits for the better, we are going to see these long-term significant transformations in our marriages and our families. So happy to provide any framework for family living that you need. Please be sure that you're checking out all of our resources at familiesofcharacter.com. And if you are not signed up for our emails, goodness, go to our website and get signed up right away. We have a free guide on our homepage that you can download to figure out how to do just a calendar review and a weekly family huddles. These resources are free and at your fingertips. So visit our website, familiesofcharacter.com. Check us out on the social media platforms, not while you're trying to have intentional time with your kids, and just continue to lean in to our community here because we truly are always in your corner. Guys, I'm going to catch you on another episode of the Families of Character show real quick. Be that hero your kids need you to be. You've got this.